G'day YouTube, my name's Andrew. Today I'm going to be doing a review on a Beretta U22 Neos target pistol, 22 caliber. First thing you should always do with a gun when you're handling it is obviously keep it pointed in a safe direction. Safety first, make sure it's not loaded. First thing to check with a semi-automatic is that there is no magazine in the mag well. This model has a manual safety as well. You have to turn that off to check the chamber, so make sure you keep your finger out of the trigger and point it in a safe direction while you're doing so. So you turn the safety off, finger out of the trigger, withdraw the slide, and you visually check that there's nothing in the chamber. You can see here this gun is clear, so we can get on with the review. First thing, as I said, it's a 22 caliber target pointing pistol, whatever you like. Generally, I've found it's a very accurate gun. My biggest complaint about the actual shooting of the gun is the fact that it's just a standard grip, not a target grip. As far as a target shooting gun goes, for pointing or something like that, it's a very good gun. Biggest criticism with the gun, other than that, is the fact that there's no manual decocking lever. The only way to decock the firearm, because it hasn't got an external hammer, is to pull the trigger. And personally, I don't really think that's such a good idea. I don't generally like dry firing guns without a snap cap or something in them, and obviously you're not going to be able to keep a snap cap in it all the time, especially if you want to make sure the gun's clear. Next thing, as I was saying, the gun's got a 6-inch barrel. It comes in a couple of different variants. It comes in a 4.5 and a 7-inch. This one's obviously the 6-inch. Personally, I'm quite happy with the 6. The 7.5 would be a little bit more accurate, but the extra weight makes it a bit hard to shoot for long periods of time. The gun itself comes with two 10-round magazines. Pretty basic magazines, nothing really special about them. Comes in this convenient little carry case. Quite a nice little case. Inside the case, obviously, it has a spot for the manual, which I haven't got in there at the moment. Spare magazine. A piece of plastic, just so you can, if you've got the gun out on a display or something, you can be sure at all times it has nothing loaded in it. And it comes with Beretta's cable lock. It is a very simple firearm as far as cleaning goes. Breakdown literally takes seconds, it's not very hard at all. Just to show you, there's a little button here that you have to push, and allows you to rotate a nut that holds the barrel on. Before you can break down the gun, you have to lock the slide in the rearward position. The safety has to be off. Break down the gun, you just push that button, twist the barrel nut, just keep twisting until the barrel comes off. Get there eventually. Okay, the barrel's now off. Place that down. Next thing to do is just grab a firm grip of the slide, press the side release lever and let it come forward off the frame. So next we have the frame of the slide. What you're left with is the recoil spring. Comes off. The next part, you have the firing pin and the firing pin spring. The way to remove that from the firearm is to get a firm grip of the firing pin, and you have to pull the trigger and it'll come clear from the frame. The frame is now field stripped. Put it down and the spring comes off the firing pin. With this gun, it's very easy to keep clean. All you generally have to do is obviously clean the barrel, clean the feed ramp. The slide's very simple. You need to clean the breech face and just give it a general wipe down inside. Same with the frame, just give it a general wipe, make sure there's nothing really too bad on there. As far as oiling goes, for this particular firearm, better is less is more. If you over oil it, I've had problems with this gun when I first bought it. Previous owner had over oiled it, and it took me a good 400 or 500 rounds to get it cleaned up to the point where it was functioning correctly, not jamming. Really, all you have to do on this gun as far as oil goes is give the inside of the frame rail, inside of the slide rail here, a nice thin coat of oil. Just wipe it down with a patch. Give the firing pin a nice wipe with oil, and just on the top of the frame here, the frame rails, just give them a nice little wipe of oil too. Not very much at all. That's it. Nothing else needs to be oiled on this firearm. put it back together, very simple. You just have to obviously realign the spring. You want to align it so the tight end of the spring goes onto the firing pin first, and pick up the frame. If you look very carefully at the firing pin here, you can see that it's got a flat piece at the bottom. That flat piece, that flat piece goes down. It lines up with this little notch here. Can be a little bit tricky. You just need to guide it straight there and push it back until it clicks. At this point, keep your finger away from the trigger. If you pull the trigger now, the firing pin will go that way very quickly. You can break things, and you don't want to do that. Next part to go back on is the recoil spring. That just slides back over the top of the firing pin and firing pin spring assembly, followed by the slide. Now the slide has a little sort of cutout here that the recoil spring goes into. Just need to line that up, and then it just simply slides back onto the frame. You lock it in the rearward position. Now this is probably the most tricky part of the lot. You just need to line the back part of the barrel up here with a little notch at the back of the slide, and then trying to get this nut lined up while turning it. Once you get it started, it's very simple again. You just hold that little button that I spoke about before, turn the nut until it's nice and tight. Yep, now it's locked. Once you have the gun back together and you're happy with how tight the barrel nut is, you then need to take the gun through a function test. Way to do that is confirm you have the gun pointing in a safe direction, obviously. Confirm that no round has somehow made it into the chamber, and you need to drop the slide by pressing the slide release lever that I showed before. Slide's now dropped. Confirm the gun is pointed in a safe direction. You now need to pull the trigger. Drops correctly. Seems okay. Next thing you need to do is confirm you have an empty magazine. Insert the magazine into the firearm. When you pull back on the slide, it should lock in the rearward position. You should now be able to drop the magazine using the magazine release here, and you've now confirmed that the firearm is in correct working order after you've disassembled and reassembled it. Realistically, there's not much else to say. I've put about 5,000 rounds through this particular gun myself. It had about 1,000 put through it before I purchased it. Apart from obviously the fact I spoke, our previous owner over-oiled it and caused me to have a few problems at the start. Since I got all the cleaning done properly and got the oil amounts correct, I haven't had a problem with this gun. It's a very reliable firearm, which you'd come to expect from something with the Beretta name. I think I've covered pretty much everything. If you have any questions, please feel free to just leave some comments. Let me know. If I need to, I'll make a follow-up video. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day. See you later.